Well, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, during his visit, wanted to also reiterate that the United States has Israel's back. He said, this is not a time for neutrality. He said, this is not a time for false equivalence or for excuses for the inexcusable. He said what Hamas did was an act of terror, and that this is a rampage by Hamas that Israel has a right to counter and defend itself from.
Yes. Now, we heard Secretary Blinken also, reiterate the call by Israel for those in Gaza to move further south. What are the main concerns, especially from the U.S. side, on a ground invasion of Gaza?
Well, of course, the United States is very concerned about civilian casualties, and Secretary Blinken has just raised awareness that Hamas is reportedly blocking roads, preventing some of these Palestinian civilians from going to the south, as Israel has asked them to do ahead of what is expected to be a ground invasion. Secretary Austin addressed that. He said that terrorists like Hamas deliberately target civilians, but democracies do not. And he brought up his own time working with Israelis when he was a general leading up the U.S. Central Command that's responsible for U.S. military operations in the Middle East. And he says that he knows the Israeli military. They are professional, they are disciplined, and he said they will focus on the right things.
When people see aircraft carriers and those fighter jets, the anticipation is that the U.S. might be kind of sucked into participating. What is the word from the Pentagon?
Well, again, Israel is a very strong, capable military. They have hundreds of thousands in reserve. They do not need U.S. boots on the ground. There is a small contingency of forces that work at the U.S. Embassy, Special Operations Forces, that U.S. officials have said are helping with hostage recovery, not planning any sort of military invasion by any chance. But what the presence of the U.S. is doing in the Middle East is they are there to deter other actors, like Hezbollah, for example, or Iran. They are there to prevent them from trying to cause an even greater conflict and try to spread this war throughout the Middle East. And that is also why Blinken is crisscrossing the Middle East. He wants to prevent that as well. He wants to tell the allies that the United States is there to prevent this, and also to say, don't rush into things. Let's let Israel do what it's supposed to do, defend itself, and let's make sure that they do it in a way where they can protect civilians as well.